All right, and up next is a short notice fight for UFC 285, but an amazing matchup in the UFC lightweight division between the number 7 ranked Mateusz Gamrot, who comes into the fight with a record of 21 victories and 2 defeats, going up against the number 10 ranked long, rangy, and dangerous Jalin the Tarantula Turner, who comes back with a record of, I believe he's like 13-5. Let's see. 13-5. So 21-2 for Mateusz Gamrot and 13-5 for Jalin the Tarantula Turner. This is a great matchup, man. This is very, very interesting. I think this is one of the most interesting fights on the card from a MMA breakdown standpoint, from a stylistic standpoint, because Jalin Turner has been counted out, at least in my opinion. I know on my side, I counted him out against Brad Riddell, and he shut me up early by hurting him on the feet, grabbing his neck, and locking up a mounted guillotine in the first round and getting him out of there. He defeated Jamie Pickett not Jamie Pickett. I was thinking about the Bo Nickel fight. Jamie Malarkey in the second round, I believe, with a TKO. It might have been the first round. Let me check real quick. We'll pull it up. Jalin Turner, 13-5. All 13 of his wins come by way of finish, I believe. It's actually loading a little bit quicker today. Yeah, 13-5, 9 wins by KO, TKO, 4 by submission. Out of his 5 losses, he's been knocked out or TKO'd 3 times and never been submitted, and lost 2 fights via decision. He beat Brad Riddell via 45-second guillotine choke in the first round. Unbelievable performance. Countered the inside low kick with a straight left hand. Hurt him, landed an uppercut as he switched stance, grabbed his neck, locked it up in the front choke, got in the mounted guillotine, got him out of there. Jamie Malarkey, there we go with Jamie Pickett again, at UFC 272, TKO in the second round, 46 seconds. Before that, a rear naked choke submission win over Uros Medic, 4 minutes and 1 second into the first round. A submission over Brock Weaver via rear naked choke, 4 minutes and 20 seconds into the second round. A TKO in the second round over Joshua Kulibau, second round, 3 minutes and 1 second. I mean, this guy's getting him out of there inside the distance. All of his wins come by way of finish. 13 wins, 13 finishes, 9 KO TKOs, 4 subs. I mean, this guy is dangerous. He's long. He's rangy. He's going to have the reach advantage. I mean, you look at the stats for this fight. Mateusz Gamrot's 5'10", Jalin Turner's 6'3". So Turner's going to have a 4-inch height advantage and a 6.5-inch reach advantage. At 70.5-inch reach for Mateusz Gamrot to 77-inch reach to a 77-inch reach for Jalin the Tarantula Turner. Leg reach, a 7-inch leg reach as well, which is going to be important because I feel like Turner needs to use his kicking game, but use it very intelligently, because if he overuses it, he will play into the game of Gamrot. At 46 inches to 39 inches for the leg reach of Mateusz Gamrot. You look at the win percentages. I mean, obviously, we know Turner, all of his wins come by way of finish. Gamrot, on the other hand, only has 14% of his wins coming by way of finish, with 86% of his wins coming by way of decision. He's more of a technical fighter. He's more of a game planner. They call him the gamer. He's a gamer, but he's more of a grappler. Multiple takedowns, top pressure, control, jiu-jitsu, ground and pound, chain wrestling. That's Mateusz Gamrot. Turner wants to keep it on the feet. He can use his jiu-jitsu, but he usually only uses his submissions and jiu-jitsu after he's already hurt you with his striking. The guy's long, the guy's rangy. Why wouldn't you want to keep it at a distance where you're going to have an advantage? Front kicks to the body, teep kicks to the body, roundhouse kicks, check hooks, straight punches. The kicking game of Turner is going to be a big weapon against Gamrot, where he's going to have to use those front kicks up the middle, the teeps to the body, the side teeps, the little crescent kicks to the body, jabs, right hands, long rangy shots, countering the kicks with the straight punches, coming over the top with the check hooks, over the jab of Mateusz Gamrot. That's going to be the game of Turner. And then the game of Gamrot is going to be getting those takedowns, using the wrestling, getting into the top position, being relentless with the top pressure. And we've seen Jalin Turner have issues with, have issues with grapplers in the past. I know people aren't going to say it, but he lost to Matt the Steamroller Favola early in his UFC career. He lost via decision. That was at UFC 236, Holloway versus Poirier, April 2019. That's the last time we've seen Turner lose, was April 2019. So it's going to be almost 4 years since we've seen Jalin Turner take a loss inside the UFC. Prior to that, he beat Callan Potter. He lost to Vicente Luque via knockout in the first round. He defeated a bunch of other guys as well, but he's had issues with takedowns even against Jamie Mullarkey. Like, people are going to look at the Jamie Mullarkey fight and say, oh, he got him out of there. He hurt him. He dropped him. He finished him. Yeah, he did. But you know what? Jamie Mullarkey got in on the hips of Jalin Turner, took him down, passed into side control, and Jalin Turner had a very difficult time getting back up to his feet. He got out-wrestled, out-grappled, controlled by Matt Frivola. Yes, I know the Frivola fight, I believe, was at... well, it had to be at 55, but I thought Turner started his UFC career at 170 pounds. I mean, he obviously did when he faced Vicente Luque, but when he fought Frivola, he got taken down. He got out-wrestled. He got out-grappled. I mean, you look at the stats for Jalin Turner in terms of the grappling, he has a 77% takedown defense. Gamrot has a 90% takedown defense rate. Gamrot's going to have a 31% takedown accuracy. That's something that I think people are going to look at in the wrong way, because Gamrot chains his takedown attempts together. He kind of has a Dagestani style of wrestling in that regard. He'll shoot a head on the inside single, transition to an outside single, transition to a double leg, work up to the body lock, try to catch your kicks and counter you. He's a very good counter wrestler. Gamrot is a definition of a push and pull fighter. He'll push you forward with his strikes. He'll pull you in, try to get you to counter his strike, and then use the counter that you throw to counter your counter with his counter wrestling. So he's a push, pull, counter the counter with the wrestling. Counter wrestling is Mateusz Gamrot's specialty. His scrambling ability, second to none. I believe he won the first round against Beneil Dariush in their fight. He was able to get those takedowns. He was able to control Beneil Dariush. I know Dariush scrambled with him as well. He had some good scrambles, but Mateusz Gamrot never stopped. Even when Dariush got back up to his feet, he would reshoot, go for a really low ankle pick style of takedown. Shout out to Tony Ferguson. Transition up to the single leg, transition back to the double, use the single to sweep it across and then grab the backside ankle to get the takedowns. When you go to stand up, he'll grab the backside ankle and, turn the corner, cut the corner. He's such a relentless grappler. And yes, Jalin Turner is going to have the advantage on the feet. He's going to have the power. He's going to have the range. He's going to have the technical ability. But Gamrot is no pushover when it comes to the striking either. He has good jabs, good right hands, good kicks. He's very good at switching stances and landing kicks to the body. But I expect a very heavy grappling approach from Gamrot against Turner, and I expect it to be successful. I think he will be able to get in on the hips of Turner. I think he will be able to get the takedowns. The only thing he's going to have to watch out for is against a long, rangy fighter like a Jalin Turner. If you shoot a takedown and shoot it recklessly, Turner's going to lock up your neck and go for the guillotine. We've seen him get guillotines in his UFC career multiple times. We've seen him lock in rear naked chokes like against Brock Weaver. He's long, he's rangy. Those long fighters, they leave themselves open for triangles or arm bars, but they're also able to snatch up your neck in positions where other people might have a more difficult time. So if Gamrot shoots a bad takedown, I think Turner can lock up the neck and get a guillotine. I think he can spin, take the back, potentially lock up a rear naked choke. But if he gets into scrambles with Gamrot's going to run right through him. He's going to get those takedowns. He's going to relentlessly pressure Jalin Turner, constantly shooting takedowns. One takedown attempt turns into 3 or 4 different takedown attempts. Like I said, head on the inside single, head on the outside single, double leg, body lock, inside trip, outside trip, working to the back to get the trips there. He's going to constantly be chaining the takedown attempts together until you mess up on one of the defenses and you give up a vulnerable position on the ground. He can roll through. He likes to do Granby rolls. He likes to roll out of takedown attempts from the opponent as a defense and wind up on top. He's so scrambly. He's so relentless, and he's so far ahead of Jalin Turner in terms of the grappling. I mean, an average of 4.66 takedowns per 15-minute fight compared to 1.14 for Jalin Turner. If you look at the strikes, 3.26 significant strikes landed per minute for Gamrot to almost 7 for Turner, 6.48 for Jalin Turner, with a 47% significant strike accuracy rate on the side of the Tarantula to a 49% significant strike accuracy rate on the side of Gamrot. So Gamrot is better in terms of accuracy with his significant strikes, but Turner's doubling him up in terms of the volume he outputs on the feet. He absorbs 3.34, does Mateusz Gamrot, in strikes absorbed per minute to 4.31 strikes absorbed per minute for Jalin Turner. On the feet, it's a dangerous fight for Gamrot, but I think Gamrot is the much more well-rounded fighter. I just think Jalin Turner presents a lot of danger in this fight when it comes to being on the feet, when it comes to countering the multiple takedown attempts of Mateusz Gamrot with submission attempts, that front choke, guillotines, darces, bravos, all that kind of stuff. That is where Turner is going to be able to get a finish. I also think Gamrot can submit Jalin Turner, but if I'm looking at Mateusz Gamrot to win this fight, it's either going to be a late sub or a decision. If I'm looking at Turner to win this fight, it's going to be either locking up the neck of Mateusz Gamrot in a submission, in a front choke, a guillotine, a darce, Bravo chokes, or he's going to catch him on the feet and knock him out. Like, Turner definitely has the ability to knock out Gamrot. However, if you look at Mateusz Gamrot, who's 21-2 in his MMA career, he's never been finished. Out of his 2 losses, both of those losses come by way of decision. I think, right? Am I wrong? Yeah, so he's never been finished. And out of his 21 wins, he has 12 wins by way of finish and then 9 wins by way of decision. The gamer's going to be looking to go long. He's going to be looking to instill his wrestling pressure, his multiple takedown attempts, the chain wrestling, the scrambles, winding up in the top position, taking the back of Jalin Turner, constantly outworking him, moving forward. Like, Gamrot's used to 5 rounds. He's used to 25 minutes. Former KSW champion. The guy does not stop moving, and he's a relentless grappler. He's one of the best grapplers in mixed martial arts and one of the best grapplers in the lightweight division, aside from Islam Makhachev. But he has a very similar style in terms of the Dagestani wrestling, but in terms of relentless takedowns, I think he might be one of the most relentless takedown artists in pro MMA today. And I think eventually that is going to just suck the life out of Jalin Turner. But early in that first round and a half, that's where Jalin Turner is going to be dangerous to knock out Mateusz Gamrot, to land the straight punches, the 1-2s, the jab crosses, the hooks over the top, and eventually hurt him and lock up a submission or get him out of there with his striking. Because Turner is technical, he's going to have a big reach advantage, a big height advantage. He's going to use those front kicks, those teeps, those side kicks to the body to keep Gamrot away. But the more you use those kicks, the better it's going to be for Gamrot, because he's going to catch those kicks and transition them into the chain wrestling and into the takedowns, the backside trips, the inside trips, the head on the inside singles, the head on the outside singles, the double legs, the backside trips. Like, Gamrot's going to be very good at getting on the inside, turning one way, and then redirecting you back the other way to kind of leg drag you and, end up in the top position. But when it comes to a prediction for this fight, this is a very difficult fight to predict because of the finishing ability of Jalin Turner and how good he's looked in his career. But I am going to side with the former KSW champion in Mateusz Gamrot. I am going to side with the number 7 ranked UFC lightweight to get back into the win column after that loss to Beneil Dariush and defeat the number 10 ranked Jalin the Tarantula Turner via a second round submission. I think it's going to be kind of similar to the Jeremy Stevens fight, where he's just going to be able to out-scramble Turner. He's going to be able to wind up in the top position, relentlessly get those takedowns, close the distance. He's going to get himself into some danger at some points, but he's going to survive, and he's going to go right back to the game plan. Chain wrestling, relentless pressure, relentless takedowns. Turner's eventually going to give up his back. Mateusz Gamrot's going to jump on the back and get the submission. So my pick is Mateusz the Gamer Gamrot, the number 7 ranked lightweight, to defeat the number 10 ranked Jalin the Tarantula Turner via a second round rear naked choke submission. I could see a decision for Gamrot. I feel like that might be the safer play in terms of a betting perspective, but I like Gamrot here. And he started off at a -170. He's now been bet all the way up to a -215. I know a lot of people are on the side of Jalin Turner in terms of, his finishing ability, his range, his distance control, how fast he comes out. But we've seen him have issues with grapplers in the past. And if you've had issues with grapplers the caliber you have earlier in your career, Mateusz Gamrot's going to out-grapple you 9 out of, every day of the week. So Mateusz Gamrot to defeat Jalin Turner via second round rear naked choke submission. When it comes to the bets, I like Mateusz Gamrot on the money line at a -215, but I also like he's actually been bet all the way up to a -225 now. Turner's back on the underdog side at +190. For Gamrot, I like Mateusz Gamrot to win via submission or decision on DraftKings at a +110. So I like either Mateusz Gamrot on the money line at -215 or Gamrot by submission or decision, double chance at +110. But give me the gamer, give me Mateusz Gamrot to get that second round submission over Jalin Turner.